had, and it's tight everywhere, but two things to look at. So this is one of them. So this is like for the Inness rotation, and one of the pieces was a fairly new acquisition at the time that came in with a frame that was like very 80s contemporary, and is glaringly, one of these things doesn't belong here. So anyway, so this will go back up for the rotation, but there's a very small window of time that we had this opportunity, and if not now, when, to reframe this in a more appropriate manner, which is what we're doing. And what Dennis is working on is preparing it, making a slipcase to go to the framers, because it's such a short amount of time, is finding the right people. And this framer specializes in period frames and certainly has worked on a lot of Inness things. And we supplied them with a lot of very specific information in order to make the process go more quickly. So that's the difference. I think if you don't have that acumen, it's not going to work. And so I told them what our requirements were. We had our teams getting the right measurements, and then they are again so professional. They asked for some other information that we supplied them with, and then relying on them because they are the experts and they know the inventory and the period and so forth. We understand why they did this. It's okay, this is so unusual for Inness, this grisaille, so okay, gray, let's do gray, and black, and they didn't take into account 1980s. So we get why they did that, but it just doesn't work, and it doesn't do the best for the paintings. So we're gonna go with this, and it's very exciting, and it'll still be exciting for us when we actually get it back, because even though we've done a lot of steps to get to that point, we still don't know 100% what it'll look like when it's here. So so this was reframed at some point. An earlier iteration, and this is a painting on board, so it's not a regular canvas. It's just a board, maybe a canvas board. But this is the remnant of some tape, and then there's even that remnant of some tape of earlier versions. There a little bit of maybe, because I see possibly leftover of possibly another label up here, only because I see maybe a little bit of some handwriting.
This one doesn't have, some of those paintings have a designation, it's where they were, but this one just says sunset. Is that the title?
Yeah, but it's also that it's sunset, and it's
yeah, it's I would almost think moonlight if I saw it. That is an odd choice to make a gray painting of a sunset. That's kind of perverse in its own way.
I know.
I guess the really stark black and white, maybe that's what he was interested in. The sunset making, if you think about it in black and white, there is shadows, right?
Yeah.
Or the sun setting behind things.
So the back of this painting here, very interestingly, has a label from the Century magazine, and you can see in the logo here it says Art Department, which makes sense because this grisaille painting, which is really rare, it's one of a half a dozen known grisaille paintings. It was a black and white illustration in Century magazine for an article about George Inness. So we're so happy to have this work in the collection and now to have a new frame on it that really brings it to life.
Things here, but this is what we believe is an antique frame that was either resized or it happened to be the size for this. So you're still seeing like the back, and now you'll see the front, which is night and day from what it had been.
I don't know why it feels to me like it's
Even on Lisa's, every time I did, but like we had nestled it there kind of quickly when we were spacing this out.
right.
But right now, well, we can try it exactly there, but then we should see like almost like the same blank space on either side. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I suppose my only thought was whether it should be slightly higher.
I kind of was thinking that too, and whether we wanted to follow that line.
Yeah, that's right.
Just to make it, since it's so kind of tight. So there's the sort of original style.
Oh my God, it looks amazing.
Oh, it's so beautiful.
It
Oh my
really
God.
is.
Let me
Wow.
know I can move it up in the right.
Wait.
You're getting the clips.
I am getting the clip. So do we want to follow that line?
I mean, I don't know. Now I don't know. I mean, I almost like it the way it is, but do you want to try it?
Yeah, maybe, but
I want to overthink it in a way. It just fits right there.
It's
Nestled,
perfect.
as you say.
Yeah, it's great.
Mhm.
It's great.
Yeah. Hopefully so.
Do you know the ladders?
Sure.
Not do it is that Tuesday. Not coming because it's my birthday.
Yeah. Thank you.
It's
Yeah, as George Inness would say, we're in the presence of the insane.